What up, guys? Kevin here. Let's do a reaction to Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. He wrote an article just going off on Xbox's no-show at the Video Game Awards, which for me personally, it's like, yeah, you can't no-show an event that... Did they announce the numbers yet? What is it going to be, 50, 75 million? A huge audience outside of Xbox, and you just no-showed? I mean, hopefully they have something for... They need to have Starfield and Redfall at the Super Bowl commercial. They need to spend that dough. But let's go ahead and just react to this article by Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. He is an Xbox dude. He's interviewed Phil Spencer. I think he has an Xbox podcast. Let's get into it. So it's a bad sign that there were more Muppets at the Game Awards than Xbox World Premieres. Now, I will say they did show Diablo 4 and the new Crash game, which, I don't know, maybe Xbox was like, we'll have the deal wrapped up. We'll just tie our brand with those two games that will now be with Xbox. And that day they got sued by the FTC, or they're seeking to sue and block the deal. So I was watching those going like, cool, those games will be hopefully on Game Pass, but we got to make sure the deal goes through first and before the game's release, which, ooh, that may not happen. At least the game's releasing in time. Someone who's been playing Xbox for 20 years, same here. I'm not sure I've ever been more baffled by the console maker's decision making. He tweeted his frustration. Industry glitziest event of the year came to its awkward end. And if the hundreds of responses to that tweet told me anything, it's that this was no hot take. How could it be? Microsoft literally showed nothing for the year to come, despite promising us a huge 2023 at last summer's Xbox showcase. I think that's the biggest thing right here is, all right, that Xbox showcase, which was a disappointment, by the way. It was, that was for the next 12 months. And then we know we're not getting anything for the last 6 months of the year. And now we got the next 6 months of that E3 showcase. And he couldn't show anything off at the Game Awards. So at this point, they needed to have like a state of play like thing or their own event, XO 2023 or 2022, if they do it at the end of the year. Because I'm in the camp that they have to make up this year. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. And no showing at the Game Awards, and it's a double standard for Xbox because they had no games. Here's the thing, Nintendo didn't. They no-showed the Game Awards. PlayStation no-showed the Game Awards. And it just makes it look bad that Nintendo and PlayStation show up to this one. And it's one of the best award shows. Like Jeff Keighley got it all together. It's a double standard for Xbox because, you know, they've showed up. They showed a lot of support over the years. And this year they took it off, which if they had games this year, it would have been okay. If they released Redfall and Starfield, we'd have been like, oh, darn, that sucked. You know, I think it was still a missed opportunity, but at least we have Starfield. We're playing in Redfall. And hopefully we have Hellblade or whatever, Avowed coming out very soon. I don't know. In June last year, Felicia declared the years-long exclusive drought over ahead of Microsoft's fantastic fall 2021. We got to remember, absolutely need to remember that 2021 was one of the, if not the best years for Xbox in terms of the output. They had Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, it was up until like around January, February where we went, okay, what's going on with Halo Infinite here? We need new content. But Halo Infinite was awesome. And I still think they should have been nominated for Game of the Year, at least over Stray or A Plague Tale Requiem. Because that game worked magnificently. And I really enjoyed the campaign. I think a lot of people enjoyed the campaign. I think it was a downer that we didn't get co-op until now, I think. But you got to remember, that game launched perfectly. It, like we all said, it stuck the landing. It just, all right, it's kind of light on content, but it'll come. It just never came, and that's why it's in the bad shape it is now. Finally getting its wheels underneath them. Forza Horizon 5, great. Age of Empires 4, great. Microsoft Flight Simulator for the console. I know, some people are like, really, now we're getting a flight simulator and all that? But it still like filled out the year. And on top of that, some people would say Game Pass last year was absolutely awesome, which it was. I think this year's been great too. I think they just did a great job last year. And we just all thought, all right. And then they bought all these studios. It's on. It's absolutely on. And no, they just went, sorry. It was just like an appetizer. It was like an appetizer they gave us. And I was like, all right, you're going to take the next year off. And to be fair, Starfield and Redfall was supposed to come out this year, but it didn't. But it's also crazy to think if they didn't buy Bethesda, those games probably would still came to Xbox, but not exclusively. Then to add one more kick in the groin, Xbox players watch Sony-backed developers wear out their path to the Game Awards stage to accept award after award for fantastic exclusive games they shipped throughout 2022. Now, my issue with that is, and I didn't like God of War. I thought Horizon Zero Dawn, no, Horizon Forbidden West, Jesus, was a way better game and deserved, I'm going to say more awards than Ragnarok, but deserved maybe some of those awards. And to me, the video game awards is just the video game awards that look and run like movie awards. And it's a movie award show. The Oscars is now, this is the Oscars. We got Al Pacino showing up and other actors, and games that run like movies win awards. That's just what it is, and it kind of sucks. It really does kind of suck. And God of War, it was just award after award after award, and it's like, all right, thank God Elden Ring won the big two. I would say the big three with the RPG, directorial, and Game of the Year. Even Xbox superfans like Cobril expressed their disappointment. There was simply no defending Microsoft, and I'm left scratching my head. Clearly, the company has a strategy. The Xbox leadership team didn't wake up the day of the show in a cold sweat exclaiming, oh no, we forgot about the Game Awards, like they were Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone. The single predominant theory bandied about online in the wake of Microsoft's presence at the show was that it was intentionally laying low under the watchful eye of the FTC, who sued Microsoft on the day of the Game Awards in order to try and block the attempted $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. Which is dumb. If that is true, it doesn't make sense, because obviously the FTC and these regulators don't know shit about gaming. So, oh yeah, but we're all just going to tune in into the Game Awards to see what Microsoft's up to. From what I understand, it's all laid out there. All Xbox's plans is laid out there. Which makes me believe, like, we got an Xbox event coming soon. Aaron Greenberg tweeted out that we won't have to wait long. Heard it over and over again. What is long? To me, something in January needs to happen. At the very least, an event needs to be announced early January, maybe February. Maybe like, February, whatever. February 14th, Arizona's birthday. We'll have an event. And again, say Redfall and Starfield's coming out in the first half of the year like it was promised. The FTC wouldn't care if Microsoft showed off release date trailers with firm ship dates, blah, blah, blah. For Redfall, Starfield, or Forza Motorsport, these games are all from studios they've owned or acquired without so much as a twitch of concern from any of the country's regulatory body. Well, we know that's a concern from the FTC. I think they're just going, oh, you bought them and you made some games exclusive, which Bethesda deal shouldn't be part of this conversation with Activision Blizzard, just because that deal went through, you got to judge the Activision Blizzard deal on its own and what they're going to do with those games. And it turned out that Xbox wasn't lying to the European Commission about what they were going to do with Bethesda games, because I guess it was never brought up. Or, announce a new project from the Coalition. I can't wait for Gear 6. Gear 6? Dude, Unreal Engine 5? My God, I got to know how that's going to play out, because I decided to... who did I take out? Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Marcus Phoenix's kiddo. Yeah, he no more, and I got to see how that plays off. It's software, yeah, where it's the next Doom game, you name it. Compulsion games. I feel bad for Compulsion games. They're just like the most forgot about Xbox studio. I don't think anyone cares. I think if we wake up tomorrow and Xbox is like, yeah, we're selling off Compulsion games or firing everybody, I think people will be like, who? And not care. Trailer from Todd Howard and Machine Games' Indiana Jones project, which is going to be great because I'll probably be on PlayStation. While we're going to get Spider-Man 2 exclusive to PlayStation as well. Doesn't that ring anything to the FTC? Can't you bring that up to the FTC and be like, hey, we got this Indiana Jones coming everywhere. We took over it, but it's still coming everywhere. Spider-Man is not owned by PlayStation. Maybe the movie rights, but Spider-Man is a worldwide figure, love figure, that existed before PlayStation and will exist after PlayStation. And they get to keep it all for themselves. That's the thing I don't understand is I don't mind if the deal gets blocked as long as FTC goes, oh, Sony and even like Tencent and all these companies buying up studios and making them exclusive. Well, I guess not Tencent since they don't have a platform, but maybe like Sony and Nintendo has this deal where, they're snatching up all these exclusives. That ain't right. We got to break that up. I'll be fine. I'll be like, cool. If Xbox can't participate in getting exclusives for themselves. All right, I'm making it more about the deal than this article. I apologize. But let's say Microsoft's strategy really was to try and look as feeble as possible in the face of its competition as it seeks to appease the FTC and CMA. In that case, mission accomplished. Congratulations, I guess. Maybe they knew like, hey, we're not going to show up and even our Xbox fanboys are going to make articles like this and we're just going to throw it to the FTC. Look, Microsoft's doing good. Xbox is not. We are not, no matter what we do. Look at this. Look at this. We had nothing to show at the Video Game Awards. Team Green looked every bit the third place console maker it is, despite having acquired literally dozens of new studios to produce exclusive games for them over the past 5 years. How do we gauge that? Doesn't Microsoft or Xbox make more money than Nintendo? I think they passed Nintendo, right? Which is crazy to think. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I thought I saw that they make billions more. Well, not that much more, but I think they do make more money than Nintendo. But consoles? Not even close. Just preaching to the choir, the Game Awards allows you to reach an audience who isn't already listening to you, and that's precisely who Microsoft needs to get the attention of. Again, that's what I think. I think, you got people outside of Xbox watching, and they pimped out Game Pass a lot. Show like Redfall, Starfield, show something. Show, hey, you're going to get these games. I think they kind of did in one of the Game Pass trailers, but like an actual stop the show, everyone look at this big screen and everyone at home and show a new clip of Starfield or Redfall and then Game Pass. Where the hell are the games? All right, this is a really scathing part. If we take a look back at Phil Spencer era of Xbox, which is finishing up its 9th year at this point, I honestly think he deserves an A+ almost across the board. Xbox One S and X were fantastic. The Series X is as powerful as it is silent and reliable. Let's not forget the all digital edition, the SAD edition. I mean, that was no one's done that up to that point. Big major platform holder went discless. And then PlayStation's doing it, Xbox is doing it. Wouldn't be surprised if the next Nintendo console goes all digital. The backwards compatibility initiative, absolutely amazing. And that's why I'm mad at the Square Enix is like, man, they really took care of those Final Fantasy 13 games, and even with FPS boost, and just to now not get any more Square Enix games. I think tomorrow's the last one with Crisis Core. Microsoft has also made significant positive changes to its culture under Spencer's watch. 2, as Microsoft recently recognized the largest game. I don't care about unions. Bullshit. I don't care. I absolutely don't care about unions. I don't. Every time I hear talks about unions, I'm like, all right, what does this do for me as a gamer? I don't give a F. I don't care if developers are crunching. I don't care. I work hard for my money to buy games and Game Pass. So when I hear people have to work 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 hours, boo-hoo. You know? Make it suck and go, damn, this does suck. Let me go somewhere else. All right, I just had to get that off my chest. No, it sucks working. It sucks doing anything like 40, 50, 60 hours a week. But I do it and I'm not making video games. The largest game developers union yet, but from the perspective of the major exclusives Xbox has shipped in those 9 years, Spencer gets a D at best, and he's dangerously close to flunking at this point. Ugh. Major exclusives. I guess major. The problem I have here is Phil Spencer has delivered a lot of games. A lot. I mean, was Sunset Overdrive under him? I know all this stuff, a lot of these games happened or were in progress before him, but if you're talking about his actual tenure, Sunset Overdrive, Halo 5, you got Gears 4 and 5, you got the Ori 1 and 2, you got Cuphead, you got Recore, Crackdown, probably a bunch of Forza games, Halo Infinite, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Sea of Thieves, man. Sea of Thieves. I bet you Sony would trade maybe their most... Would they trade God of War for Sea of Thieves? Maybe not, but... I bet you Sony looks at a Sea of Thieves and goes, man, what a crazy new IP success that is. And if that was under us, we can do things with it. The problem is, it's just a lot of these games just don't have the impact. The thing about Sony and Nintendo games is they understand their audience. They understand their loudest, whiniest fan base, that what's going to excite them and just get them super hype beast over what they put out. And Xbox is kind of all over the place. So to give them a D, I guess I would give them a D in terms of just bringing us that one game, that one that we can just all sit around the fireplace and go, this is it. This is a game. This is a game. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't agree with not bringing games. I just think the pacing of the way these games are being brought out, when you have 2021 just 3-4 games and then nothing in 2022. It's like, yeah, I mean, little foresight there. Didn't it feel like those games were going to get delayed, Redfall and Starfield? And you couldn't go, man, maybe we should hold off Horizon 5 coming out in the summer of 2022. That at least would have been something. That would have been at least something that probably been nominated and stuff. And then you got to look at stuff like High on Life. It's not doing good. I tried watching it and the gun didn't shut up. I'm like, shut up, gun. Please shut up. And then they get a lot of deals done. The thing is, their exclusives last 3 to 6 months. Looking at like a Tunic, Nobody Saves the World, or whatever it's called. Games like that. Again, games that we just all don't sit around the campfire and go, this is it. This is a game we're all looking forward to. It's just, okay, some people will like this and some people won't. Xbox just has too much of that. They just need that one game. And I think that's where the Xbox has no games comes from. They have a lot of games. Their games do really good. Xbox is doing really good. And then you look at a game like Pentiment and Grounded is an absolute success. Every time I open up the Game Pass, the top play games, Grounded is up there. I was like, whoa. People really like Grounded. That's the thing, I don't. But people do. Maybe that's what they need. Maybe Hellblade will be the one game we go, yes, this is it. I think Starfield will be. And I think that's why they're trying to get that one perfect. Is that it? As 2022 draws to a close, allow me to draw you to a meme with the words Xbox players are Charlie Brown, Microsoft is Lucy, and the promise of big exclusives is the football. Okay. 23 Studios. Unforgivable that they're not at the Game Awards. That's what was weird. Like, and when Jeff Keighley announced that Phil Spencer was in the house, I was like, oh, damn. Oh, damn. They're probably going to show something. It seemed like a wink and a nod, like, hey, I know what you got up your sleeve, Phil. Turns out he was probably like, and Phil Spencer's in the house. Why are you here? We did a rehearsal like 15 times, and you got nothing. Might as well go home. I thought it was funny when As Dust Falls. Just the look on his face like, oh, thanks, something Xbox related one. All right. There you have it. That's, I mean, I agree mostly. If you want to give Phil Spencer a D on the games, I mean, again, Xbox started from nothing. Xbox One, basically, they started over. And to get the trust from the gaming industry enough to start buying like Obsidian, Ninja Theory, and then to get Bethesda, and then to get Activision Blizzard. I mean, that's all under Phil Spencer. And even if this deal goes through, I can see us like 20 years from now, however this plays out, that we look back at Phil Spencer and go, wow, he ditched the Kinect and Xbox just launched into the air like a rocket ship. Will it explode? It's not. It seems like it is, like any day now, but Xbox is doing better and better and better. And I do think one day we're going to go, oh, wow, we got all these Xbox games are finally coming out. And I don't have enough time to play them. I mean, he's trying to leave a legacy or something. I think he is in one way or another. I think if you hate the guy, if you hate Xbox, if Xbox goes away tomorrow, people are going to be like, man, that was some crazy times. Those were some crazy times. And now it's just Sony and Nintendo. I really want that beef to happen, Sony and Nintendo. I think it will. I think it will come to a point. What I think will happen is, I think the next Nintendo console is going to be an actual console. I think there'll be some type of handheld component to it as well. But I think it'll be powerful enough that a lot of games that didn't come to the Switch will now be able to come to the next Nintendo console or Switch or whatever, to the point where they may make it exclusive to that console. And that might piss off Sony. And that probably eat into Sony's market share. Maybe that's why they're crying about this Call of Duty. They know the next Nintendo console is going to eat into their sales. Because right now, it's like, yeah, Nintendo's on an island. They got their kiddie shit. They got their broken Pokemon games that look like crap. We don't have to worry about them. They will have to worry about them if Nintendo puts out a console even remotely close to the power of, let's say, a Series S, which I think it will be. There you have it. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Later.